In tonight's video, you can't have your parents' faith. We'll be right back. Hey, let's get after it. So, like I said, tonight's show, you can't have your parents' faith. Let's get into the book of Judges, chapter 2. Let's look at that a little bit. After Joshua sent the people away, each of the tribes left to take possession of the land allotted to them. And the Israelites served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and the leaders who outlived him, those who had seen all the great things the Lord had done for Israel. Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110. They buried him in the land he had been allocated, at Timnath Serah, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gash. After that generation died, another generation grew up who did not acknowledge the Lord or remember the mighty things he had done for Israel. The Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight and served the images of Baal. They abandoned the Lord, the God of their ancestors, who had brought them out of Egypt. They went after other gods, worshipping the gods of the people around them, and they angered the Lord. No doubt that would anger the Lord. They have abandoned him, and abandoned him, time and time again. And for a long time, I just was having a hard time figuring that out. And now, you've probably noticed I don't always read the devotional from this book, but tonight it's especially insightful. And it kind of put a light bulb up on top of my head. It's entitled Secondhand Faith. When I was growing up in Singapore, I remember that some of my school friends were kicked out of their homes by their non-Christian parents for daring to believe in Jesus Christ. They suffered for their beliefs and emerged with stronger convictions. By contrast, I was born and raised in a Christian family. Though I didn't suffer persecution, I, I too had to make my convictions my own. The Israelites who first entered the promised land with Joshua saw the mighty acts of God and believed. But sadly, the very next generation knew neither the Lord nor what he had done for Israel. So it was not long before they turned aside to worship other gods. They didn't make their parents' faith their own. No generation can live off the faith of the previous generation. Each generation needs a first-hand faith. When faced with trouble of any kind, the faith that is not personalized is likely to drift and falter. Those who are second, third, or even fourth generation Christians have a wonderful legacy, to be sure. However, there's no second-hand faith. Find out what God says in His Word and personalize it so that yours is a fresh, first-hand faith. Amen. Amen. So, we just can't live on the shirt tails of our parents' faith. That seriously gives me something to think about, something to meditate on. I've had personal experiences with Jesus Christ throughout my life where I know He intervened to help me out. There's no question about it. I've seen miracles. But that doesn't really help my kids. They, they have to develop their own faith. So, that something I hadn't really thought much about because I was raised in a Christian home. Both my mom and my dad were raised in Christian homes. I'm not sure how many generations deep my Christian background goes, but it goes back a ways. But I still had to develop my own faith. It's no different for any of us. If you're wondering and struggling, you're going to have to get your own miracle from God. And that comes by staying in the Word. That comes by prayer, fasting even. I'm still fasting Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So there's definitely something to meditate on. And I'm not sure if you noticed in the intro, I was stirring up this jar. We talked last week about doing something, not just whining and crying about your health issues and praying for a miracle. You got to take some action. And that's what I'm doing right here. I am making some toothpaste. I warmed up a quarter cup of coconut oil, which comes in a solid block when you buy it. So I warmed it up into a liquid form, put 2 tablespoons of baking soda in it, 1 teaspoon of xylitol, and 10 drops of peppermint essential oil. So now I'm just keeping it stirred up so that the solids don't settle all out on me. And that's going to become my toothpaste. The toothpaste you buy in the store, I've found out, it's not healthy for you. It doesn't do shit. So we're going to give this a go. Throw away the store-bought stuff. That's doing something. You all have a great evening. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. And the word for this week is still innocuous. Take care.